from the middle of row 4.
That's Zonta van der Goorbergh coming to the grid already on slicks. His mind was made up before he even went out there for the sighting laps. I think the rest of the field are also moving over to the same way of thinking. The riders who might be in a spot of bother early on in this race are the riders on the left-hand side of the grid as we look, the riders right, because the racing line is certainly dry, but against the pit wall, it does still look pretty damp. So if you're Philip Salac and Joe Roberts for the American racing team starting 3rd and 6th, Chelsea Vietti here, he is in 9th place. You might not find too much grip underneath those slicks when you try and leave the start line.
Yeah, that 5th place last time out in Jerez for Vietti. Top 10 in a row now. 3 of those have been top 6s. He's putting together a nice sequence of top results as Vietti, up to 4th now in the World Championship, largely thanks to a recent slump from this young man, Danny Holgado, who we believe was Gresini Ducati bound in MotoGP next year, the 21-year-old Spaniard. After 2 podiums in the first 2 Grand Prix, including that brilliant victory in Goiânia, well, his form has completely deserted him. No top 10 in the last 2. Great to see some luck finally coming the way of Czech rider Philip Salac, who's had so much misfortune so far in the opening 4 Grand Prix. On the front row, though, is the Czech rider. Let's get his thoughts for Jack.
Yeah, brilliant job yesterday, Philip, to be up here on the front row of the grid, but this is going to be a challenging 14 laps. What was the track like on the out laps?
Well, it's much drier than I expected, and starting in the front like this, it's really important, and even more in these kind of races with these conditions. So it's going to be tricky for everyone. Let's see, it will be quite short race because it's just 14 laps, so it will be good for the tire wear. Anyway, I'm just going to enjoy it. I did really good job going through all the weekend, and I just want to enjoy and make the best result for the team because they deserve it a lot.
Good luck, have fun.
Thanks, Jack. Thanks to Philip Salac's weekend started in real painful fashion. Some kind of issue threw him down the road at turn 3 through no fault of his own. First front row in 47 Grand Prix, and he's got form here. Well, this is not a shock to see Salac at the sharp end, is it? First World Championship podium here with 2nd in the 2021 Moto3 race. 2nd in 2023, he's only dry Moto2 race podium. So half of his 4 World Championship podiums have been taken right here in Le Mans.
From the lows of the big crash on Friday morning at Dunlop to the highs of the first front row in so nearly 50 Grand Prix for Philip Salac, 47 since his last podium. Here he is, the young Czech, who will be looking to try and convert that into a long-awaited podium. Great qualifying session, all told, yesterday for the American racing team with his teammate a row further back, Joe Roberts, who came through qualifying 1 to secure his best qualifying since he won at Brno last summer.
Our title contenders then, series leader Manu Gonzalez. He's got a little bit of work to do. 5th place on the grid for Manu Gas. 3 podiums in the opening 4 Grand Prix. He's not yet finished lower than 5th. Excellent start to the season for Manu Gonzalez. Talking of excellent starts to seasons, well, Jorge Martin there, who we just saw on screens, he might be leaving Le Mans later on this evening as the new MotoGP World Championship leader after his sprint brilliance yesterday. 8th to the win in that sprint in MotoGP, cutting the gap to his teammate Marco Bezzecchi down to just 6 points going into this afternoon's main action. A great weekend so far for American racing. Salac on the front row, 3 places further back behind him is his teammate Joe Roberts, who's for Jack.
Yeah, Joe, top job yesterday to be here on the 2nd row of the grid. How are you feeling ahead of this one?
Yeah, finally got it together in the qualifying, and we're here 6th. It's a good starting position also for my teammate as well. The team's doing really great this weekend, so yeah, I'm feeling good. This is just saying, this condition that we have, you feel like I've done this so many times on this track. It always rains and dries. You got this kind of mixed deal, but at least I got the experience. I know what to do, and I feel confident. I feel good with the bike, really good with the bike. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Should be a good race.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Best qualifying, thanks Jack, in 13 Grand Prix since his Brno front row for the 28-year-old Californian. 2 years ago, back in 2024, Joe Roberts came to this French Grand Prix leading the World Championship. The first time an American had done that since Nicky Hayden all the way back in 2006. Barry Baltus, who's been on the deck so far this weekend. He heads that second round, which does feature world champion leader Manu Gonzalez and Joe Roberts. Baltus has been strong this weekend, despite the Q2 get off at turn 6. La Chapelle, tricky downhill right-hander. He has not been outside the top 4 in any session so far this weekend.
Yeah, the closest thing to a home Grand Prix for Barry Baltus too, a special helmet design and dedication to his father. Some words of encouragement, or potentially reading the riot act ahead of this Grand Prix from Fabio Quartararo to his very good friend Tony Arbolino. Perhaps Tony would have been hoping that the circuit had taken a little bit longer to dry out. The Italian comes from 15th on the grid, of course has won a Grand Prix before here in the dry, but when we saw the weather forecast looking largely wet for Sunday, I think most of us were looking in his direction.
59.5 points have gone the way so far. Manu Gonzalez, 3 podiums in the opening 4 Grand Prix. Well, we know he was one of the first riders to go out of the sighting laps on the slick rubber. Let's go and get some thoughts of the Dutch riders. On to Goorbergh, 18th on the grid, he's with Jack.
Yeah, maybe a smart move. Zonta, one of the only riders to have gone out and done the sighting lap with dry tyres. How did the bike respond? What were conditions like?
The other riders were listening. I would say that the track is super wet, but luckily they're not, so it's quite dry out there. There's definitely some slick spots, and in general the temperature is very low. Passing through pit lane, the tire dropped a lot in temperature, so it'll be key to push from the start to get a tire in the window. I think more or less everyone's on slick now, so let's see what we can do.
Good luck, have fun.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks Jack, thanks to Zonta and Goorbergh. Of course, big home Grand Prix coming up at the end of June for him. The Dutch TT in Assen finished all 4 previous appearances here in Le Mans. Has Zonta still to trouble the point scoring places as yet. Let's hope today is his turn to return to the top 15.
Fascinating stories up and down this grid. One of them that we haven't really touched upon so far is the number 80. You can just see him on the right of the picture, the Colombian David Alonso, who starts in 7th place. Here he is, right on cue, and yeah, it was looking a lot worse than that, has to be said, certainly for much of Friday. He turned up here at Le Mans and was keeping his cards close to his chest, but he had a training crash earlier in the week, did David, which has injured his right shoulder. He's been getting up to speed and getting to grips with the issues and the discomfort that he's been riding with through the weekend, and had a really good Saturday afternoon to get himself into Q2. He starts from 7th place on the grid, and if you are running in a little bit of pain, perhaps a shortened distance might well play into his hands.
Winner from pole position in 2024's Moto3 edition of the French Grand Prix, a weekend which he made his own. One of several weekends where Alonso led every single session and the Grand Prix. How is David Alonso feeling ahead of this Grand Prix? What about Danny Holgado going from the front row looking for a big result? Let's get the thoughts of Aspar boss Nico Thrall with Jack.
Yeah, that's one of the big questions. Firstly, Nico, how's David? How's the shoulder? Shorter race distance should be an advantage. Just tell us how he's feeling.
Yeah, I think with this incident we have better conditions like that, but anyway, he's feeling what the most important thing. He did a very good job yesterday, like I say, with the incident. We'll be see, but I say he don't have pressure this race because he need to understand how is his body.
And just for Danny on the front row of the grid, you feel as though he must be a big contender here.
No, Danny is in a very good moment after he struggled a lot in the last 2 races, but he came back very strong here at Le Mans, and I'm very happy because he's on the good way also here.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Holgado is in a good way. Thanks, Jack. Thanks to Nico Thrall. 3rd front row in the opening 5 Grand Prix. Special memories here for the 21-year-old Spaniard, of course. He's winning Moto3 here in 2023, a first home victory for the French-based Tech 3 team since they were formed all the way back in 1989. So special memories in Moto3 for both Holgado and for Alonso. Can they create some special memories in Moto2 here this afternoon?
Back with Chelsea Giovetti, who starts from 9th place on the grid. Now the Speed RS team have made quite a fundamental change to their Boscoscuros for this weekend's French Grand Prix. Having run Olin suspension for countless years, they've switched across to the WP suspension for this weekend's French Grand Prix. Luca Boscoscuro deciding that if you can't beat them, copy them, has gone with the WP suspension that has been in the Calixes that have won the first 4 Grand Prix across Intact, Aspar and Red Bull KTM IO. And so far so good for the Italian Vietti, 9th on the grid. His teammate Luca Lunetta though does start at the back.
Well, the Spanish Grand Prix was 2 weeks ago for Colin Vaya, first pole position in Moto2, the first for a Netherlands rider since the 90s. Wilco Zielenberg, he led so much of that Spanish Grand Prix as well before he encountered a few issues late on with arm pump. still able to find himself on the podium for the first time in 2026 will be Colin Bayer. He'll make it back-to-back podiums for the first time in Moto2. Justin Vietti, of course, yet another former Moto3 winner here around this Bugatti circuit in Le Mans.
Much like this man, Sergio Garcia, who's won in Moto3 and in Moto2. And yeah, starting to trend in the right direction for Sergio Garcia. Now back-to-back Q2 appearances, that is the best qualifying of his Moto2 career so far. It has been a tough 2 years for the number 3. That victory in 2024, the last time he stood on the top step of a Moto2 podium.
3-minute board then goes up here in Le Mans. 14 laps is the revised race.
Bring the energy one more time. If you feel like letting go, you can take control.
Distance here in Moto2. It's been a fantastic start to the season for Jürgen Ling's German-based Liquid Moly Dynavolt Intact GP team. Manu Gonzalez and Senna Aegis, winners in 3 of the first 4 Grand Prix, locking out the top 2 so far in the World Championship. Keep an eye though on Ethan Guevara. And the 6 riders at pole for Bosca-Scorer with Fermin Aldeguer, Alonso Lopez, Ayagura, Jake Dixon and Sergio Garcia. First Bosca-Scorer pole position since the German Grand Prix at the Sachsenring last summer. Of course, on occasion was the Brit Jake Dixon who put the Bosca-Scorer on pole in Germany.
I'm sure you've all worked this out by now, but every rider on the grid has started or has decided to start. Confirmation on the slick tyres. Everyone's gone for the SCX, the super soft rear tyre, with the exception of Aaron Canet, who starts on the 6th row of the grid in 17th place. He's gone for the slightly harder rear tyre, the SC0.
A painful time at the moment, isn't he? Aaron Canet, the 26-year-old Spaniard, one of the most experienced riders in this Moto2 pack. This will be Moto2 start 114. He was the 3rd here last year after a pretty intense battle with Jake Dixon and eventual world champion Diogo Moreira. Second he was here to Augusto Fernandez back in 2022 as well, so he's got podium pedigree around this Bugatti circuit, has Canet. So then, Philippe Salac's first podium, his first front row, I should say, you're hoping it'll be a podium in 47 Grand Prix, his last podium in Japan over in 2024. Holgado back on the front row for the fight some momentum back in his title challenge. For the first time in Aragon in 2022, the first Moto2 pole position beckons for Ethan Guevara. Can he make big inroads into world champion Manu Gonzalez's world championship lead here in Le Mans?
A wet start to the day, it's dried up for Moto2 at Le Mans. Ethan Guevara starts from a maiden pole ahead of Danny Holgado and Philippe Salac. First front row for nearly 3 years. Barry Balton, despite a crash in Q2, lines up court ahead of points leader Manu Gonzalez and Joe Roberts, his best qualifying since he won at Brno last year. David Alonso 7th after coming through Q1 ahead of Alonso Lopez. Twice a podium finisher here, and Celestino Vietti 9th. Colin Bayer 10th, his lowest qualifying of the season, ahead of back-to-back winner Senna Aegis and 2024 winner here, Sergio Garcia. Ayumu Sasaki is promoted up to 13th along with Ivan Otola and Tony Arbolino. They move ahead of Danny Munoz, who takes a 3rd place grid penalty. Canet and Van den Goorbergh complete row 6 ahead of Jose Antonio Rueda, his best Moto2 qualifying. He's joined by his screeching Unchu. Marcus Ramirez once again is in for Ancon Piqueras at MSI, 22nd from Ajit Forosato, Ferrandes Navarro Huertas, and completing our grid is Luca Lanetta.
The omens good if you're Ethan Guevara, Danny Holgado or Philippe Salac. The last 10 Moto2 clashes here in Le Mans have been won on the front row. Only 3 though, pictures from pole position. Taking all the way back in 2018. Val Fernandez 5 years ago in 2021. And most recently, our current Moto2 World Championship leader, Manu Gonzalez. Guevara then flying away from pole. Here is your champion leader, Manu Gonzalez, the 23-year-old from Madrid. Lots of rumours emerging here this weekend. Of course, I've been overlooked for a MotoGP seat in 2026. Doesn't look like he's catching the eye of too many MotoGP team bosses for 2027, as well as we move into the new 850cc engine era and the new Pirelli tyre era. And Gonzalez now apparently entertaining and exploring options over in World Superbikes for 2027 and beyond. There is your championship picture then. 9.5 points is Gonzalez's advantage over Senna Aegis. Senna Aegis coming up in this 14-lap Grand Prix. to be the first rider in Moto3 to win 3 on the spin, well, 2 rather, since Fermin Albuquerque's brilliant dominant sequence of wins at the end of 2023. 14 riders have won 3 in a row previously in Moto2. Aegis though with a bit of work to do from 11th place on the grid. He might have needed a full distance 22 lap race to get himself back in a contention. It just feels like on the live pictures it's just getting a little bit darker once again here in Le Mans. We might not well have seen the last of the rain. It fell so heavily just after this morning's MotoGP warm session around 10 past 10 local time here in Le Mans. It was absolutely pouring down. Backstage, I don't think there was long odds on anybody expecting a dry Moto2 battle, but that's what we're going to get. Every rider coming to the grid, all 28 of them are on Pirelli's slick rubber. The fans wait with bated breath. Manny Gonzalez, middle of the second row in 5th place. Your World Championship leader, great start so far this season. Winner in Thailand, 3rd place in Brazil, second last time out in Jerez. Green flag cleared at the back. Pole position number 1 in Moto2 for Ethan Guevara on the 28 bike. Lights out, we're racing in Moto2 here in France. It's a great start from that maiden pole by Ethan Guevara. He's charging up towards the first corner. Gonzalez has been superb away too from the second row. He's up into P3. There's Holgado holding second. Philip Salac going around the outside of Vietti. Somebody's really wide. Is that Kinet or Onju? Or the Martin VDS bikes in the first chicane. Perfect start from pole row for Guevara.
Really tightens that double chicane. Baltus was in the middle of the pack. He's now in 5th place. That's Salac up the inside of Danny Holgado. Baltus trying to fight back too, but the perfect start for Ethan Guevara, and of course the rider who he's trying to chase down in the World Championship, Gonzalez, right behind him.
Yeah, he nailed that start. Absolutely picture perfect as far as Guevara is concerned. The field sweep through the long left hand of the museum corner, turn 7. For the first time,
Alonso,
huge high side, huge high side for Holgado. Now where's that bike going? Thankfully it tumbles over in the grass, but that was a monster high side for Holgado on the exit of the museum corner, and this poor run for Danny Holgado. Of course, he was a series leader at one point. Now he's 5th in the championship. That's going to be a 3rd race in a row where he's not going to have the top 10. Massive crash.
Absolutely lit it up, and there's some debris there. That looked like off Alonso's bike. Did he potentially clip Holgado as he was trying to avoid the Aspar bike? Because there was definitely some blue CF Moto debris dropping off on the back straight down to Shimano Berg. That's Roberts getting beaten up by Alonso Lopez. They're battling for 7th place.
Let's hope Holgado's okay after that bone rattle. He's going to be hurting next weekend in Catalonia after that one here at the museum corner on the first lap. The first lap, no dramas for the rider 3rd in the World Championship, Ethan Guevara. He's had a brilliant start to this French Grand Prix. The dream first lap for Guevara, almost a quarter of a second clear he was at the end of that first lap ahead of Gonzalez. Salac started the Grand Prix 3rd, that's where he sits at the end of lap 1.
Like that first lap for Colin Vire, he's down 3 places then to 13, so it's going to be difficult for him to get himself back over to the podium mix from there. So we've got Guevara, Gonzalez, Salac and Baltus, your top 4 who've got a little bit of space between themselves and the rest. Vietti's trying to jump across the gap. He's running 5th, up 4 places from the back of the 3rd row.
Onju was the Martin VDS rider that was wide in that 3rd chicane. He came over the line way down in 25th place, lost 4 places, a lowly 21st in the grid for the Turk. On board then with Guevara on the exit of turn 7 where we lost Holgado in painful fashion. And in that 3rd lap, you can still see some debris from Holgado's crashed Calex chassis on the outside of that first corner. Now then as the group tighten up through garage there, turn 8, harden the gas then now as they attack the Shimano Bertes. He's on board with Gonzalez, with pole sitter Guevara just ahead of him.
I think a lot of the hard work, because we're now seeing Vire dropping down the order. Has he gone down there somewhere on this 2nd lap? That's Holgado. We're delighted to see he is up on his feet and walking away from a big high side. Salac going on the attack, look. Never mind Gonzalez attacking his title rival Guevara. It's Salac, the Czech rider, up into 2nd.
It's a lovely move that by Salac. He's a bit battered and bruised as well after that big crash he had on his outlap, really his first flying lap of the weekend. At turn 3 on Friday morning through no fault of his own. This has been some recovery by Salac. He fancies this already in Moto2, a Moto3 podium finisher here in Le Mans. He's going to take his first ever Grand Prix victory. Ethan Guevara then it is that leads. Fastest rider on circuit is a rider in 6th place. That's Alonso Lopez for the Grazzini team. Now what has happened here?
That's Navarro's dropped it out of the final corner, hasn't he, on the forward bike. I did see out of the last corner, Arbolino got dumped off onto the outside, so whether he then got tangled with Navarro, who was trying to come back through, either way, there is a forward bike up against the pit wall.
What about Aussie star Senna Aegis starting the Grand Prix 11, looking for a 3rd successive victory victory. Senna at the moment down in 9th place. At the end of lap 2 was almost 3.5 seconds back of your race leader, Guevara. Munoz has just picked up 11th ahead of Yuba Sasaki. Munoz, of course, with a 3-place grid penalty for this Grand Prix. That's the live championship. So Ethan Guevara looking for a big payday here before he heads home to Barcelona.
Yeah, we've seen already in the last year or so when he's been on that Boscascoro, Ethan Guevara, very, very difficult to overtake. He's got good top-end speed, clearly got that Boscascoro geared up for top speed, and very, very good under braking. So it's not going to be an easy puzzle for the riders behind him to solve here. Guevara, of course, chasing his second career Moto2 win and first of the season.
There's quite a big gang building up behind him, though, led by Salac. Gonzalez still there in 3rd. Just behind him on the 7 bike is Baltus. There is the red flag has gone out there now. This is obviously a result of the Navarro incident on the start-finish race. So what was already a shortened Grand Prix here, 22 down to 14 laps because of the rain. There is the reason why it has been red flagged. You can just see the marshals are just about to clear Navarro's crash bike through the pit wall.
Yeah, couldn't have really been in a worse place, that, up against the pit wall. The only way they could retrieve it is, as you saw, is to wheel it up the main straight and then through the gap in the fence. Had it been on the outside of the racetrack, it would have taken them 10 seconds to remove that. So what was already a shortened distance, Gonzalez is waving his hand to say, why did we stop the race, guys? He clearly came round and didn't see them retrieving the forward bike of Jorge Navarro, but what was already a shortened distance is going to be shortened even further now.
He's tucked right on the bubble there. You've seen his peripheral vision, did he? There's that Ethan Guevara. Oh, looks like he's still almost full racing speed, doesn't he? That's Guevara's.
Yeah, he's just having a look now to his left to work out what's happened. So let's have a look. Yeah, Arbolino, is he going to come back onto the racetrack having been dumped wide? No, Navarro has his own incident, has his own eyesight. You can see Lanetta having to check up to avoid the Spaniard. And of course, that bike just disappears on its own journey up the pit straight.
Brutal lap for Jorge Navarro. Tried to flick him up into orbit about 3 or 4 times before finally succeeding that forward machine. There you go, once, twice, 3 times. That time he drops right back in the seat, but momentum takes over. So yeah, it was 4th time that forward machine tried to dump him on the tarmac. Unfortunately for Jorge Navarro, he wasn't able to hang on to it and he landed rather awkwardly there. Good to see Jorge's walking away from that crash. That was a nasty old incident there as far as Navarro's concerned, and that's what's brought out the red flags.
It was initially a 22-lap Moto2 race, was then cut to 14. It's now going to be 9 laps. We've had confirmation on our timing screens. They've had their fair share of red flags this year, haven't they, in the Moto2 World Championship. Of course, the first race of the season, as we see Navarro there heading straight into the medical centre. At least he's on his feet, walking into the medical centre. He will not be taking the restart. But once again, we're going to have a Moto2 sprint coming up.
Goorbergh was the shortest Moto2 race in history. Austin was the 7th shortest Moto2 race in history. It doesn't feel like the Moto2 riders have done an awful lot of racing so far in 2026. Red flags before 3 laps completed, so it's a completely new race. Quick start procedure will be implemented. Original grid positions, and we're down to a new distance of just 9 laps. Just a quick reminder about the quick start procedure. Pit lane will open for 60 seconds. You'll have to take your grid position. You'll be greeted by one of your mechanics. They'll just make sure that everything's A-OK. They will clear the grid. There'll be a warm-up lap, and then we'll be back underway for a 9-lap French Grand Prix.
Yeah, watch Manuel Gonzalez there here on the 2nd row. He just cut straight through to his right, past Salac. He's now past Holgado. He's already in 2nd place before he even reaches turn 1. He's into the heart of it now and into turn 2. There was Baltus getting caught up there with Salac. That could have ended a lot worse than it did. Unchu there on the left as we look, nearly running into the back of several riders, which is why he had to disappear up the escape road on the pit exit down through the first chicane. But there'll be a few riders, particularly Salac, who got himself up into 2nd place, and Gonzalez, of course, from 5th up into the podium battle, who will be regretting the stoppage, although, of course, Holgado will be missing from the front row, assuming there's no 2nd Aspar rider in this restart. We didn't see him, of course, in any shape by the looks of it. Of course, we didn't see the state of his bike. Jack's down at Aspar. Any hope of Holgado taking this restart?
Not for me, I wouldn't imagine. There's no sign of Danny, there's no sign of the bike, which is not obviously good news. If you just stay with me, I'll jog north very quickly down to Red Bull KTM Io, just to have a look if Colin Vire has managed to make it back to the box. And the good news for Colin is the bike looks pretty good. He's in the box as well, so it looks as though he's going to be good to go for the restart in a few moments' time, which is great news for Colin. Thumbs up from him. The Dutchman will be able to retake his spot on the grid and restart.
Yeah, we can just see on the picture. It's now on our screen stat. They're now wheeling Holgado's 96 bike up pit lane. So wherever the rider is, if he's in a fit state to take the restart, Aspar have got Holgado's bike back. We haven't had any confirmation yet on our timing screens of a restart time. They'll be given 5 to 10 minutes notice, so there'll be a frantic repair job now going down at Aspar to try and get Holgado back into the action.
One key factor at play here might be, did anybody have a soft or a new rear tyre, a new probably bit of rubber to throw in for this shorter 9-lap restart? We didn't get a lot of racing in the first rerun, but if you have got a brand new rear tyre in particular to slot in for this 9-lapper, it might give you a certainly bit of an advantage, a bit of extra grip at the start of this 9-lap shortened Grand Prix. I would mention Burram was his shortest ever intermediate world championship Grand Prix, just 31.8 kilometres. This is going to be a nasty old high side, isn't it, for Danny Holgado? He exits stage right. Big landing on his back there. Painful blow this for Holgado, physically and for his championship charge. Lighting up the rear tyre there, just had a picture. And a bit like in the Navarro incident, he wasn't fired immediately off that bike. He got launched out of the seat, and then as the bike straightened up, he got to just put his body headbutted the screen there, didn't he, Danny Holgado? Real painful one, real nasty one that for the 21-year-old.
Pit lane will open. It's now on our timing screens, 12:37 for a quick restart procedure. Of course, if you're watching Moto2 this year, you'll be very well up to speed on how the quick restart procedure pans out. So Aspar, they've got 4 minutes to get Holgado out to take his grid position. If they don't manage that, they can still get that bike repaired to allow Holgado to start from the pit lane.
You're still going to need a new set of leathers as well, having had the airbag deployed on landing after that real vicious high side. Senna Aegis then, winner in Austin, winner at the Spanish Grand Prix in Jerez. 50 points out of the last 50, really has galvanised his early season World Championship charge. It is going to be original grip positions, so Aegis once again will line up in the middle of that 4th row in 11th place. Will Colin Vine, they'll be alongside him. Trying to get back into the action after his early crash. He of course started the original running in 10th.
Bottom line at the end of that message from the MotoGP stewards, the restart has been declared dry. Now, I'm sure we've had enough red flags for one season in Moto2, but what that means is that if rain does come in during the restarting Moto2 race, given it's been declared dry, they would then stop it. Hopefully, we can get this restarted Moto2 race to the checkered flag without any further interruptions.
12:37 local time is when pit lane will be open for 60 seconds. Just under 3 minutes time. As you can see, the Aspar mechanics trying to work their magic on Danny Holgado's crash machine. Chap is saying, as we can see on screens, that there's no sign of Danny Holgado. Even if he's had to go, I think they're obligated now, they're obliged after heavy crashes, after any crash, to go and have maybe a precautionary medical centre check, which I'm sure the manager of the organisation will be requesting from Holgado for a nasty price like that. He might just be getting, that might have already happened, he might just be getting a new set of leathers. He's now in the box. Some new bodywork then on the Aspar Moto2 machine, so a bit of a reprieve here for Danny Holgado.
Down in what, around 5th place when he high-sided on that opening lap, so a reprieve in a couple of senses, not screaming out, but even before that, the start had been poor. Alonso on the number 80, he was exactly where he started, in 7th place before the red flag. Are we going to get to the bottom perhaps of what happened with that debris? Just see there tumbling off on the left-hand side as he looks down to what he clearly didn't get connected with his teammate's bike when in high-siding, because we were on board with Alonso when we saw the Holgado crash, but clearly some cosmetic damage also needs to be repaired on the number 80.
Got 100 seconds, haven't they, before pit lane opens, the Aspar mechanics, and then just a further 60 seconds to follow that to get Danny Holgado back into this restart. Nasty, real unusual, vicious crash it was for Hoy Navarro, who was flicked 4 times in the air before he gravity finally took over. Let's go back down to Jackie pit lane.
Yeah, as you said, Danny Holgado now in the back of the box. Jorge Martinez Aspar has just gone up to him, tapped him on the leg, and I'm sure was asking him if he's okay. Holgado looked up at him, gave him the thumbs up and the head nod. It looks as though he's good to go, and the good news for him and the Aspar squad is they've worked miracles on this bike. The number 96 machine has now got fresh bearings on. They're just readjusting, which I think is going to be the key concern, the handlebars. They did look ever so slightly bent, but now Jorge Martinez Aspar himself just looks across. It looks as though, for me, that this 96 machine could be good to go.
Yeah, thanks very much, Jack. He was fairly fortunate in the way that clash unfolded, because, of course, the bike just carried on running upright on two wheels, and then it just plonked on its side on very soft, wet grass. And so there was minimal damage, really, I have to say, taking nothing away from the skill set of the Aspar mechanics, because it's still a very high-pressure situation. But at any other part of the circuit that Danny Holgado might have clashed, though, he might not have been so fortuitous for it just to plonk on its side, as we said, on the soft, wet grass.
Yeah, these Moto2 mechanics, well, in all classes have got the race, and they've been trained for this kind of scenario, and they've had plenty of practice of it in Moto2 this season. Yet another Moto2 race that has been interrupted. Just a little good luck message and a calming word for David Alonso. No concerns about his bike being ready. Pit lane opens now, and they have 60 seconds to leave pit lane. A reminder, if they don't get out of pit lane in this 1 minute window, they're not out of the Grand Prix, but they would have to take the restart from pit lane.
So there's Manu Gonzalez then. Being set for this shorter 9-lap battle. He exits pit lane in ample time. 59.5 points. Manu Gonzalez has collected there with Dan Alonso rather, being released by the Aspar crew. Well, he'll be looking to nail the starts in this restart, just as he made in the first running. This could be close. Danny Holgado wincing in pain.
Right by the pit exit.
Wincing in pain. He hasn't got a new set of leathers on. He won't care one jot about that at the moment. Holgado, he looks at the screens. He's going to make it out with, 13 seconds remaining. Jack, back down to you.
Yeah, round of applause from the guys. The one thing to keep an eye on is that they, for whatever reason, couldn't get the front mudguard onto the bike. So you might be able to see the 96 of Holgado is missing the front mudguard. Shouldn't be an issue, but just something to bear in mind. Whilst I've got you as well, as everyone exited, fresh rubber front and rear for basically everybody.
Great spot, Jack. Yeah, there is no mudguard there on the front of Danny Holgado's Aspar machine.
Well, the stewards might have half a look at that as to whether they've released that Aspar bike in a perfectly safe condition. Of course, now a professional outfit down there at Aspar. What we can also tell you in terms of tyres, as Jack mentioned, everyone's gone for fresh rubber. Aaron Canet, he was the one rider who was on the SC0, the harder of the two rear tyres. He has now gone across to the Supersoft SCX. Our information from Pirelli also is that Danny Munoz, he's switched to the SC0, so he's gone from the super soft to the soft rear tyre. Maybe that was the only fresh rear tyre he had after coming through Q1.
I've said this a few times, haven't we, so far this year? It's been Moto2 Take 2, just as it was in Thailand, just as it was in Austin. This one, a 9-lap battle. Race declared dry. Original grid positions, which mean Ethan Guevara will slot into pole position, looking for another dream start like he made in the first running. Manu Gonzalez was rapidly away, wasn't he, as well, from the middle of the second row in fifth. Philip Salac got himself up into second before the red flags came out. He gets a second bite of the cherry as well, coming up short. So too then, of course, Senna Aegis in his quest for 3 successive victories. There is Alonso then coming onto the grid. You'll just see one mechanic, that's all they are allowed to greet them to the grid at the end of the quick start procedure. They're just there to make sure that everything mechanically is in full working order. So minus a mudguard, a front mudguard, Danny Holgado is going to be a participant in this rerun French Grand Prix here in Moto2 in 2026. Can he capitalise on what is some very big good fortune just to be part of this second battle?
Yeah, just to confirm, I was just looking for him. I do believe that Colin Via is out there too. He was from 10th place on the grid. Yeah, just saw him come through the picture there on the 95. So I believe we'll just be missing Navarro on the forward bike, the number 9, who was due to start back in 26th place. And if you're someone, particularly like Manu Gonzalez, who absolutely nailed the first start, he'll be thinking, can I just do that again, please? Because, of course, in a 9-lap race now, the start takes on even greater importance.
Well, Gonzalez was pretty sharp in that shortened Goorbergh Grand Prix. So too, of course, was our Polestar Ethan Guevara. The podiums in our 2 shortened Moto2 battles so far this season have been Gonzalez, Guevara, Holgado, and then Aegis, Vietti, Guevara. So in the shorter formats, Ethan Guevara is pretty aggressive early on, gets his head down and is able to sort of pick up some big points over the shorter formats. So we've gone from 22 to 14 laps, 14 down to 9. Let's hope we are going to finally get this Moto2 battle here in Le Mans run to a conclusion. The riders then come into the Blur S's. That was where Salac made a real tidy move on Gonzalez in the first part of this Grand Prix. Lovely move which put the Czech rider up into second place. At that point he was thinking about trying to hone in and find a way through on Ethan Guevara in the lead. There is Bayer, as you can see on screens. He also gets a second crack at this French Grand Prix. He took an early tumble as well. So they come under orders for the second time of asking here in Le Mans. Holgado on the front row of the grid on the 96th bike. Minus a bit of body work. After the bruised body as well after that nasty high side on the exit of the museum corner. BMW safety cars completed all of its checks, happy to go, and we're raring to go here in Le Mans for Moto2 in 2026. It's Moto2, take two here in Le Mans. Lights out, we're underway at the Bugatti circuit. It's another great start from pole position by Ethan Guevara. He has nailed it once again, hotly pursued by Danny Holgado, who's trying to get a bit of a draft on that run into the third chicane. Gonzalez there in third. Holgado swims to the inside line, not going to find a way through on Guevara.
That's Salac.
Salac out of shape going into the first corner. So too was a strange running through the pit lane exit.
Fortunately, it wasn't looking good before that for Philippe Salac. He'd already lost 5 or 6 places as Lopez got Baltas down for the second day in a row. He crashes at La Chapelle.
Nightmare for Baltas now. He looks like his body language and his aggressive fist gesture suggests that he got a bit of a helping hand from somebody else down the hill. Celestino Vietti, maybe some early contact. Jack just coming in our ears and informing us. So at the front, it's been another picture-perfect start this by Guevara. Down in the garage there for the first time. Guevara is almost a second clear of Alonso Lopez.
Yeah, if you'd offered him that it'd be Alonso Lopez next behind him in second place. He would have bitten your hand off. Guevara is legging it at the front of the field. Instant under investigation down to turn 6 on the first lap. So it's Gonzalez third. Then it's the Aspar pair of Holgado and Alonso. Ortola's made good progress. He's up into 6th place. He's 14th on the grid. He's gained 8 places.
These short, sharp Moto2 battles, as mentioned, as Alonso threatening a move on the inside of his teammate Holgado. While they rub each other. We've seen this before, of course. You get a flashback to the Spanish Grand Prix in Jerez last year. Now that's cost both of them a whole chunk of time here. It's Alonso who comes out the better of it. Now Garcia picks off Holgado. Holgado's getting really roughed up here, isn't he? All the legacy of the aggressive move at Aspar from Alonso. Holgado was inside that top 6. He comes over the line now. He's down in 11th.
Yeah, it's going to get worse because he'll lost all his momentum down the main straight. Look at him swarming. Aegis is a rider behind him. He's down in 12th at the end of the first lap. Pick a line, any line, as they go through turn 1. Up towards Holgado at the inside there of what must be Sasaki on the RW bike. That's Bayer trying to cover his way through. He's also had a tough first lap.
Shocker for Salac. His mistake on that first chicane is Connect gets super aggressive on Sasaki down through La Chapelle. More contact further down.
That's Bayer.
And that is Bayer.
Right into Munoz.
Yeah, more drama at La Chapelle. No drama though at the moment for Guevara, who's streaking away at the front of this Grand Prix. Over a second clear now, he is in the lead.
Celestino Vietti has a long lap penalty. The rider in 5th, second of the Boscoscuros in this race. Clearly the stewards have had another look. They've decided that Vietti was at fault for taking down Barry Baltas, and in a 9-lap race, that is a big penalty.
Yeah, you only had to check out Baltas' reaction to see that he was the wrong party in that incident. We're going to have a look at the Via Munoz one now as well, aren't they, Simon Craig? But here we are, then on board with Manu Gonzalez. Alonso Lopez, he is directly into the Blur S's now. This is where Alonso made a real hard move, didn't he, on Holgado on the previous lap. Gonzalez not able to find a way through to get on Lopez.
Lopez wide through the first part of the Aspar, which is going to back Gonzalez back into Ortola, who is now 4th from 14th on the grid. What a start to the race Ortola's had on the MSI KTM, a 1:34.7 for Guevara, but the rider faster than him is Ortola.
Salac is making some forward progress, up to 13th. He was as low as 17th at the end of that first lap after a bit of a calamitous run into first chicane. Here comes Gonzalez, beautiful, on the inside of Lopez. Lopez might be losing his exit speed here as well, trying to take full advantage. Here's Ortola, indeed he does. Oh, close as they drop down the hill through La Chapelle, but Ortola, Lopez went into that first chicane in second place. He comes out of it fourth.
What a ride this is from the number 4 so far. 40 now up into third place. We've got Alonso then 6th. That'll soon become 5th once Vietti takes his long lap penalty. Then Robert Garcia up to 8th. Aegis and Kinet 10th from Sasaki and Danny Holgado after that punishment he took from several rides. He's led by his teammate on the first lap. He's now back in 12th.
It stands right now, Goorbergh's victory in a 25 points gain would move him up into second place in the World Championship, with Senna Aegis currently down in 9th place. Vietti then has completed his long lap, has dropped him down into 9th place.
Almost dropped it further, didn't he? Got a massive head shake on that Boscoscuro on his way out of the long lap penalty loop. He's got to make sure he's kept some temperature in his tyres. So Garcia's now up in 7th place, the winner here from 2 years ago. Here it is as he comes back onto the racetrack. Major head shake from the number 13 back. He was left by contact as Senna Aegis moved past him into P8.
It stands right now, Manu Gonzalez, 9.5 points clear of Aegis coming into this French Grand Prix. He will leave it in exactly the same position, just with a different rider behind him. 9.5 points, and it stands right now is the gap between him and Goorbergh. Goorbergh looking so good at the front of this shortened Grand Prix. 1.3 seconds is clear of Gonzalez. He's just trying to up the ante here is Manu Gas, a 1:34.683 on his lap 3, a fastest lap so far. Gonzalez has got some trouble brewing behind him, hasn't he? Ortola and Lopez. He can't shake his two fellow Spaniards.
Yeah, and of course Alonso, he's also in the 34s, matched Guevara's pace on the last lap with Tarmac ahead of him now that Chancellor Vietti has jumped out of the way. So we saw how fast he finished in Jerez. Of course, that was over a much longer distance than this, but can Alonso once again make a late rally towards the podium?
He's now gone up to 1.5 seconds. Guevara's lead. He's really good in the first sector, and then Gonzalez is able to sort of snatch back a bit of time in the second split. About 2.5 tenths recovered by Gonzalez in that second sector on this lap 4 of 9. This is going to feel like a very brisk, a very rapid French Grand Prix, isn't it here? Goorbergh in control of it. Further down, we were looking briefly there, Alonso and Roberts. They're 5th and 6th, respectively, as it stands right now.
It's an instant down at La Chapelle on what would have been a second lap between Munoz and Vaya. It's going to be investigated after the race. Munoz did remount, but he's at the back of the field in 25th. Vaya is one of our 3 retirements, along with Baltus and Navarro, of course, didn't start the race.
Goorbergh on course for rare point scoring finish. No points in the last 8 for the Dutch rider. He's currently down in 14th spot.
Teammates crash though. I think the Yuri Sasaki's gone down in the 4th sector as Manu Gonzalez sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Bettered slightly by Ortola. There is Sasaki out of the Grand Prix, but Guevara's lead is just being beaten to now.
It is. Goorbergh has just set his own personal best lap of the race. A very respectable, a very fast 1:34.702. Particularly think of all the grip that's been washed away, all the rubber that was washed away by the earlier torrential rain which fell immediately after the MotoGP warm-up. This is a pretty hot pace being run by this Moto2 pack. Fastest rider on circuit though is Ortola. Doesn't seem to matter where Ortola qualifies in Moto2, does it? He just comes charging through the field. 18th to 11th in America, 15th to 10th in Spain. He's not shy at getting the old elbows out, was he, man?
On previous podium in Moto2, that was of course on board the Boscoscuro in the final race of last season, but that was a race also won by Ethan Guevara. Is that going to be an omen of sorts for the Spaniard on the number 4 bike? It looks as if Lopez, with the very fast pace from the 2 up ahead of him, is just struggling to keep up with this podium battle. At the moment, Lopez is still bettering Alonso for pace. He's got a second of empty time behind him, so Lopez at the moment in a fairly safe 4th place.
Salac is going to be kicking himself for whatever happened to him in that first chicane, because the top 4 on that last lap were in the 34s. The only other rider in the field in the 34s was Philip Salac, a 1:34.941. Fair play to the Czech rider. in this short race. He's worked himself back up into the top 10 from 17th. He's now up in 9th, is Salac. At the front then, Goorbergh trying to complete business here, but he's responding to the upping pace from both Gonzalez and Ortola. It's successive PB laps from Goorbergh. This time around it's a 1:34.462. Just keeping Gonzalez at arm's length. 1.2 seconds remains the gap.
And another 1:34 for this time for Sedang. He, Vietti and once again Salac in the 34s. They're all closing up on the Alonso-Roberts battle for 5th and 6th place, so that could all close up the second half of the top 10 in the remaining 4 laps of this Grand Prix. So still potentially a top 5 or a top 6 might yet be salvaged for the likes of Vietti and Salac.
Recurring theme this as far as Lopez is concerned. We know he's already a pretty fast starter, but already it seems that running out of pace, running out of a bit of momentum, and maybe crucially running out of a bit of grip. There he is on the 21 bike, being rapidly closed in here by Alonso. How's Danny Holgado getting on after his big crash in the first running of this Grand Prix? He's just got himself actually back up inside the top 10. He's doing a good job of being able to go here with Salac.
We're going to see more contact here between Vietti and Aegis. They've rubbed elbows once already, and Vietti, of course, recovering from his long lap penalty, now retakes 7th.
Careful there, Aegis braking on the curbs. He's still a little bit damp from the early morning rain. So Vietti, not the first time in their Moto2 careers. We've seen these two have some pretty tough battles, elbow to elbow, knee to knee. Aegis, you know, he's not going to take this one lying down at all. Through Recordemont we go. The double right-handers of 13 and 14, long gone up the road, is your race leader Ethan Goorbergh against another high 1:34 from the Spaniard for Blue Crew Pramac Yamaha. Still giving that advantage of just over a second back to Gonzalez.
Yeah, Holgado, credit to him. He's just done his personal best lap of the race, having passed Kinnett on a 35.1, so back into the top 10, given there are only 3 laps remaining in this race, and 1.8 seconds up to Salac. That's about as far up the order as Holgado will get, but I'd love to be a fly on the wall in the Aspar debrief after this one.
Yes, indeed. I think Holgado, he's going to be hurting. He is going to be hurting big style. This is just adrenaline at the moment. It's getting Holgado to the checker flag after that monumental crash coming out of the museum corner. Taking the top 10 when he was flying through the air on the exit of that turn 7 early on in the first running of the Grand Prix. Early Salac, he's closing in on this Aegis Vietti battle. That might get a little bit tasty late on here in Le Mans. Looks like Holgado at the moment not under any great pressure from the Kinnett, Garcia, Van den Goorbergh battle behind him.
Ortola hasn't quite been able to sustain that pace in the 34s, which is why Gonzalez has been able to eke out around about half a second. In fact, up to nearly 9/10 of a second now between Gonzalez and Ortola at 2nd and 3rd. So I think Ortola, given where he started from, back in 14th on the grid, would be more than happy to sign for and save a very comfortable 3rd place.
2 podiums in 4 Grand Prix has resulted in a lot of noise around Ethan Goorbergh and MotoGP 2027. Is he destined to jump into the Pramac Yamaha MotoGP project next year? Well, this certainly doing his cause a world of good. We've got, what, 2 laps remaining here. And it's Gonzalez still trying to make progress. The gap has just come down to under a second. First time it's followed, that's been the case for quite some time. Ortola looks like he's locked in for a safe but lonely 3rd place, but maybe Gonzalez still in the battle for the win here.
Guevara has looked through most parts of this 2026 season as comfortably the leading Boscoscuro rider. The only other rider who can really make a claim to that is Celestino Vietti, who was on the podium with Guevara in Austin. But Boscoscuro, who locked out the podium here a couple of years ago, their only Le Mans victory, Guevara at the moment is a lap and a half away from giving them their first win of 2026.
Monza not making any sort of significant progress to Lopez's rear tyre at the moment. Lopez has got the Colombian fairly comfortably covered off as it stands. We pick up Guevara then, your race leader, into the Shimano Burpesses. Yeah, nothing changes really in terms of Manu Gonzalez's championship lead. It's just a different name occupying 2nd place behind him. What a great day at the office so far for Senna Aegis after the back-to-back wins in both Austin and in Jerez. Aegis trying to salvage a top 10 here from 11th place on the grid. So through Recordamont we go. Is Ethan Guevara about to record his first victory of 2026. 1 lap remaining, 4.19 kilometres of this Le Mans course remaining, and it's Guevara that leads by 9/10 from Gonzalez.
Very nearly nothing between them, half a tenth. They both did 34.7s on the last lap. Guevara is just doing what he has to at this stage, just covering off Manu Gonzalez. Gonzalez, much like he did in Jerez really, hasn't had the explosive outright pace to win this Grand Prix, but doing what World Championship contenders will always have to do. When you can't win Grand Prix, just maximise it, finish on the podium, and it looks like for the 4th time out of 5, Gonzalez is going to do that.
Chatting out the front end of Guevara's Bosca score as he dropped down through La Chapelle for the final time. Once again, he's going to make sure in our shortened Moto2 battles so far this year, Guevara is going to be on the podium places. He was second in Thailand, third in Austin. And this time around, it looks like he's going to collect the maximum 25-point haul. He's going to take a late collapse here to deny the number 28.
He's looked like he's had this covered, in fairness, however long the Grand Prix was going to be, since Friday afternoon, when he was so quick in practice and he didn't even bother putting in a time attack. He was so fast on his first lap that he was fastest on Friday, top in FP2, took his first pole position. Of course, not the perfect weekend, he didn't top 3 practice 1, but the next best thing for Ethan Guevara.
He's already a Moto3 world champion. Looks like he's destined for MotoGP in 2027, but in Moto2, look out, because Ethan Guevara is coming as a major force in the title fight in Moto2 in 2026. Out of the final corner we go. It is Ethan Guevara with the glory here in our shortened Moto2 French Grand Prix in 2026. Beautiful stand-up wheelie from the Blue Crew Pramac Yamaha rider. He takes the checker flag, just over half a second clear of Manu Gonzalez, who does retain a 9.5-point lead in the World Championship going to round 6 next time out in Catalonia. Ivan Ortola, a brilliant ride from the Spanish rider, coming from 14th place up into the podium position once again. What a cracking job by the QJ Motor rider. Lopez is 4th, Alonso 5th, top 6 for Vietti despite his long lap after the early contact with Barry Baltas. Aegis is 7th and loses 2nd in the World Championship. Roberts takes 8th. Salac, who was as low as 17th on lap 1, recovers to 9th. Top 10s for Connect, points for Holgado, Garcia, Vanden Goorbergh, Onju and Arbolino. But Ethan Guevara wins here in France. Game on for his championship charge.
Without question, the best weekend of Ethan Guevara's Moto2 career. Won't say his victory was fortunate in Valencia because it was anything but of course he did get the advantage early on after a lightning start and then defended for his life from Danny Holgado for much of that Grand Prix. From pretty much midway through Friday afternoon, he has been clearly the quickest rider out there in Moto2, and it didn't matter how long the distance was going to be today, that was Guevara's from the start.
Yeah, and how good has he been so far this season? We're only into round 5 of 2026, and it's already his best tally for podiums in a Moto2 campaign. He really has stepped up. Perfect timing, really, as far as Guevara is concerned. In a MotoGP rider contract here, where there's a whole raft of changes due in the Premier class, he's one of the riders that's standing up and saying, hey, come on guys, I'm ready to make the big step up into the Premier class next year. Give me a crack at Marc Marquez, Pedro Acosta, Pecco Bagnaia, Jorge Martin and go. That's what he's saying. A great hike by Ivan Ortola. If Ortola can get himself sorted on Saturday afternoons in qualifying, he's going to be a real big threat. Let's get some thoughts though from the Blue Crew Pramac camp. The boss Alex De Angelis joins Jack after Ethan Guevara's brilliant win.
Yeah, he does indeed, Alex. What a superb performance by Ethan. Wasn't flustered by the conditions, wasn't flustered by the red flag. A great weekend.
It was really difficult today because with 2 starts, you know, he wasn't really calm, but he knew he was the fastest one from the 4th day. He knew the tire was working very well, especially for the short race, so we had absolutely no problem. So we had just to focus on a good start and take his pass. He was simply perfect.
He was. Well done, congrats.
Thank you.
Ethan Guevara, the 21-year-old Spaniard, was simply perfect. Second in FP1 on Friday, the only time that there's not been a P1 next to the name of Guevara here in Le Mans. Ivan Ortola then comes into Parc Ferme on a Spanish lockout of the top 3. Make no mistake, mistake about it. 3 podium in the first 5 Grand Prix, his first win of the campaign. Already making or staking a big claim to Moto2 glory. It looks like a pretty much nailed-on seat in MotoGP next season.
What a journey he's been on in Moto2 when he was moved up as the red-hot Moto3 champion in 2022. It was a tough old start to life in the intermediate class. Didn't quite get up to the level physically, was struggling in terms of his technical feedback to the team. He's matured so much in the course of 3 years now in the intermediate class, and he's now looking like the Ethan.
ocean's still there. The marquees, they all read. Now, appearing nowhere. Appearing nowhere. Now, appearing nowhere.
We were sparks on quiet streets, two hearts finding where to meet. But life pulled us apart, left me talking to the dark. If I called you tonight, would it feel the same? Or have we both moved on to different names? Take me back to the start, before the quiet and the scars. When the world felt small and your hands felt warm. Take me back to the start, if only for a moment. I've been up since 3, scrolling back what we used to be. Half truths in this late night chat, both of us knowing what it like that. Funny how we talk like we're fine, but your name still lives in my rhyme. Take me back to the start, before the quiet and the scars. Take me back to the start, before the quiet and the scars. When the world felt small and your hands felt warm. Take me back to the start, if only for a moment. If only for a moment. If only for a moment. Take me back to the start, before the quiet and the scars. When the world felt small and your hands felt warm. Take me back to the start, if only for a moment.
Say it louder, say it louder. Feel the moment, feel the power. Bring the animal back to life. Bring the energy one more time. If you feel like letting go, you can take control. You can turn this all to something beautiful, where you feel life gets you down, down, down. Gets you down, down, down. Say it louder, say it louder. Feel the moment, feel the power. Bring the animal back to life. Bring the energy one more time. Bring the energy one more time. question, you're the answer. Oh, bring the animal back to life. Oh, bring the energy one more time. Oh, if you feel like letting go, you can take control. You can turn this all to something beautiful where you feel life gets you down, 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 gets you down, down, down. Say it louder, oh, feel the moment, feel the power, oh, bring the animal back to life, oh, bring the energy one more time.
still there. The marquees, they all read. Night appearing nowhere. Appearing nowhere. Now appearing nowhere.
We were sparks on quiet streets, two hearts finding where to meet. But life pulled us apart, left me talking to the dark. If I called you tonight, would it feel the same? Or have we both moved on to different names? Take me back to the start, before the quiet and the scars. When the world felt small and your hands felt warm. Take me back to the start, if only for a moment. I've been up since 3, scrolling back where we used to be. Half truths in this late night chat, both of us knowing what a lie that. Funny how we talk like we're fine, but your name still lives in my rhyme. Take me back to the start, before the quiet and the scars. Take me back to the start, before the quiet and the scars. When the world felt small and your hands felt warm. Take me back to the start, if only for a moment. If only for a moment. If only for a moment. Take me back to the start, before the quiet and the scars. When the world felt small and your hands felt warm. Take me back to the start, if only for a moment.
All this time, I've been holding on so tight, 'cause all that I do was easy to use. So call my time, but you weren't really mine, just something to do. Thought I never knew. No surprise, but nevertheless, I'm still stuck in self-defense. No surprise, but nevertheless, I get lost when I look in your eyes.
Say it louder, say it louder. Feel the moment, feel the power. Bring the animal back to life. Bring the energy one more time. If you feel like letting go, you can take control. You can turn this all to something beautiful where you feel life gets you down, 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 gets you down, down, down. Say it louder, say it louder. Feel the moment, feel the power. Bring the animal back to life. Bring the energy one more time. Bring the energy one more time. Bring the energy one more time. Say it louder, say it louder. You're the question, you're the answer. Bring the animal back to life. Bring the energy one more time. If you feel like letting go, you can take control. You can turn this all to something beautiful where you feel life gets you down, 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 gets you down, down, down. Say it louder, say it louder. Feel the moment, feel the power. Bring the animal back to life. Bring the energy one more time. Bring the energy one more time. Bring the energy one more time.
Meet me in the afternoon, or meet me at twilight. slanted. My reflection's still there. The marquees, they all read. Now, appearing nowhere. Appearing nowhere. Now, appearing nowhere.
We were sparks on quiet streets, two hearts finding where to meet. But life pulled us apart, left me talking to the dark. If I called you tonight, would it feel the same? Or have we both moved on to different names? Take me back to the start, before the quiet and the scars. When the world felt small and your hands felt warm. Take me back to the start, if only for a moment. I've been up since 3, scrolling back where we used to be. Half truths in this late night chat, both of us knowing what a line that. Funny how we talk like we're fine, but your name still lives in my rhyme. Take me back to the start, before the quiet and the scars. Take me back to the start, before the quiet and the scars. When the world felt small and your hands felt warm. Take me back to the start, if only for a moment. If only for a moment. If only for a moment. Take me back to the start, before the quiet and the scars. When the world felt small and your hands felt warm. Take me back to the start, if only for a moment.
Bend like a willow, bend like a willow, Godzilla. Bend like a willow, bend like a willow, Godzilla. You are my best friend. Let's run through the field. Reach up and touch the sky. Is it really, really, really real? Bend like a willow, bend like a willow, Godzilla. Bend like a willow, bend like a willow, Godzilla.
'cause all that I do was easy to use. So call my time, but you weren't really mine, just something to do. Thought I never knew. No surprise, but nevertheless, I'm still stuck in self-defense. No surprise, but nevertheless, I get lost when I look in your eyes. I just want to be next to your I get lost when I look in your eyes. Do you even leave now, make your escape. You know the fortune favors the brave. So close, just get away. No surprise, but nevertheless, I'm still stuck in self-defense. No surprise, but nevertheless, I get lost when I look in your eyes. I just want to be next to your I get lost when I look in your eyes. Do you even do you even I get lost when I look in your eyes. I just want to be next to your I get lost when I look in your eyes. Do you even do you even
We were sparks on quiet streets, two hearts finding where to meet. But life pulled us apart, left me talking to the dark. If I called you tonight, would it feel the same? Or have we both moved on to different names? Take me back to the start, before the quiet and the scars. When the world felt small and your hands felt warm. Take me back to the start, if only for a moment. I've been up since 3, scrolling back where we used to be. Half truths in this late night chat, both of us knowing what it like that. Funny how we talk like we're fine, but your name still lives in my rhyme. Take me back to the start, before the quiet and the scars. Take me back to the start, before the quiet and the scars. When the world felt small and your hands felt warm. Take me back to the start, if only for a moment. If only for a moment. If only for a moment. Take me back to the start, before the quiet and the
stand still there. The marquees, they all read. Appearing nowhere. Appearing nowhere. Now appearing nowhere.
Say it louder, say it louder. Oh, feel the moment, feel the power. Oh, bring the animal back to life. Oh, bring the energy one more time. Oh, if you feel like letting go, you can take control. You can turn this all to something beautiful where you feel life gets you down, 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 gets you down, down, down. Say it louder, say it louder. Oh, feel the moment, feel the power. Oh, bring the animal back to life. Oh, bring the energy one more time. Bring the energy one more time. Bring the energy one more time. Say it louder, say it louder. Oh, you're the question, you're the answer. Oh, bring the animal back to life. Oh, bring the energy one more time. Oh, if you feel like letting go, you can take control. You can turn this all to something beautiful where you feel life gets you down, 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 gets you down, down, down. Say it louder, say it louder. Oh, feel the moment, feel the power. Oh, bring the animal back to life. Oh, bring the energy one more time.
sparks on quiet streets, two hearts finding where to meet. But life pulled us apart, left me talking to the dark. If I called you tonight, would it feel the same? Or have we both moved on to different names? Take me back to the start, before the quiet and the scars. When the world felt small and your hands felt warm. Take me back to the start, if only for a moment. I've been up since 3, scrolling back where we used to be. Half truths in this late night chat, both of us knowing what a line that. Funny how we talk like we're fine, but your name still lives in my rhyme. Take me back to the start, before the quiet and the scars. Take me back to the start, before the quiet and the scars. When the world felt small and your hands felt warm. Take me back to the start, if only for a moment. If only for a moment. If only for a moment. Take me back to the start, before the quiet and the scars. When the world felt small and your hands felt warm. Take me back to the start, if only for a moment.
slanted. My reflection's still there. The marquees, they all read. Night appearing nowhere. Appearing nowhere. Now appearing nowhere.
All this time, I've been holding on so tight, 'cause all that I do was easy to use. So call my time, but you weren't really mine, just something to do. Thought I never knew. No surprise, but nevertheless, I'm still stuck in self-defense. No surprise, but nevertheless.
Say it louder, say it louder. Feel the moment, feel the power. Bring the animal back to life. Bring the energy one more time. If you feel like letting go, you can take control. You can turn this all to something beautiful where you feel life gets you down, 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 gets you down, down, down. Say it louder, say it louder. Feel the moment, feel the power. Bring the animal back to life. Bring the energy one more time. Bring the energy one more time. Bring the energy one more time. Say it louder, say it louder. You're the question, you're the answer. Bring the animal back to life. Bring the energy one more time. If you feel like letting go, you can take control. You can turn this all to something beautiful where you feel life gets you down, 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 gets you down, down, down. Say it louder, say it louder. Feel the moment, feel the power. Bring the animal back to life. Bring the energy one more time. Bring the energy one more time. Bring the energy one more time.
Meet me in the afternoon, or meet me at twilight. Meet me at the same time the stars blink their eyes. Send me blank postcards from across the sea. Mail them to the wrong address. They'll still find me. reflection still there. The marquees, they all read. Now, appearing nowhere. Appearing nowhere. Now, appearing nowhere.
We were sparks on quiet streets, two hearts finding where to meet. But life pulled us apart, left me talking to the dark. If I called you tonight, would it feel the same? Or have we both moved on to different names? Take me back to the start, before the quiet and the scars. When the world felt small and your hands felt warm. Take me back to the start, if only for a moment. I've been up since 3, scrolling back where we used to be. Half truths in this late night chat, both of us knowing what a lie that. Funny how we talk like we're fine, but your name still lives in my rhyme. Take me back to the start, before the quiet and the scars. Take me back to the start, before the quiet and the scars. When the world felt small and your hands felt warm. Take me back to the start, if only for a moment. If only for a moment. If only for a moment. Take me back to the start, before the quiet and the scars. When the world felt small and your hands felt warm. Take me back to the start, if only for a moment.
guess all that I do was easy to use. So call my time, but you weren't really mine, just something to do. Thought I never knew. No surprise, but nevertheless, I'm still stuck in self-defense. No surprise, but nevertheless, I get lost when I look in your eyes. I just want to be next to your I get lost when I look in your eyes. Do you even leave now, make your escape. You know the fortune favors the brave. So close, just get away. No surprise, but nevertheless, I'm still stuck in self-defense. No surprise, but nevertheless, I get lost when I look in your eyes. I just want to be next to your I get lost when I look in your eyes. Do you even I get lost when I look in your eyes. I just want to be next to your I get lost when I look in your eyes. Do you even do you even
Say it louder, say it louder. Feel the moment, feel the power. Bring the animal back to life. Bring the energy one more time. If you feel like letting go, you can take control. You can turn this all to something beautiful where you feel life gets you down, 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 gets you down, down, down. Say it louder, say it louder. Feel the moment, feel the power. Bring the animal back to life. Bring the energy one more time. Bring the energy one more time. Bring the energy one more time. Say it louder, say it louder. You're the question, you're the answer. Bring the animal back to life. Bring the energy one more time. If you feel like letting go, you can take control. You can turn this all to something beautiful where you feel life gets you down, 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 gets you down, down, down. Say it louder, say it louder. Feel the moment, feel the power. Bring the animal back to life. Bring the energy one more time. Bring the energy one more time.
Hello, I'm Kiki. I'm Mew Mew. Today, we're gonna take care of a baby in Mr. Cat's house. Let's go together.
Hi, Kiki. Mew Mew.
Hello, Mr. Cat.
Can you take care of my baby today?
Sure, no problem. Baby bus, change into babysitters.
Wow. Thank you, guys.
You're welcome.
Today, Kiki and Mew Mew helped Mr. Cat take care of his baby. Let's give them medals.
My reflection still
Meowmy finger! Whoa! Sister finger, where are you? Here I am, a police officer. Police officer! Wee wee, wee wee, wee wee. Police finger! Wee wee, wee wee, wee. Oh! Dr. Finger, where are you?
Here I am. Oh, what happened? Aha!
I got a boo-boo, it hurts so much.
I'll help you, make your boo-boo better.
Brother Finger, where are you? Here I am, a firefighter. Firefighter! Nee-na-nee, 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 hey. Fireman finger! Nee-na-nee, nee-na-nee, nee-na. Ow! Dr. Finger, where are you?
Here I am. Oh, what happened? Aha!
I got a boo-boo, it hurts so much.
I'll help you, make your boo-boo better.
Mommy finger, where are you? Here I am, I'm the best chef.
The chef!
Chef finger, what are you doing? Chopping onions for your meal. Dr. Finger, where are you? Help!
Here I am, let me help you.
Boo-boo fingers!
Oh, why are you all so careless?
Meowmy fingers! Meowmy fingers, what are you doing? Meow, 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 we're having fun. Meow.
Kids, why should we respect all kinds of jobs? Because every job has a difficult side to doing it. And some jobs can be dangerous to do. What do you want to be when you grow up?
Yay! Come on, Daddy! Wow, look at this!
Oh.
I'll have this one!
No, a grown-up.
Oh, why not?
'Cause you're a child.
Oh, why not? Why not?
You should listen to me.
I want to be a grown-up,
No need to hurry.
'cause I can do many, many things.
What will you do then?
I'll tell everyone what to do.
Well, it is not like that.
It will be great. Huh, it's not fair. We're gonna buy something too.
Only grown-ups can decide.
Then let's change. We'll be grown-ups. Meow, ha! I want to be a grown-up,
No need to hurry.
'cause I can do many, many things.
What will you do then?
I will buy everything I want.
It is not like that.
It will be great. I want to be a grown-up.
Now I'll do what I want. Doodaloo. Whoa! Oh, why not?
'Cause I'm a grown-up.
Oh, why not?
'Cause you're a child. The grown-ups and children. Why don't they listen to each other?
I want to be a child.
Old child.
'Cause I don't need to do many things.
'Cause you're a child.
I need you to care for me.
Is that what they do?
It will be great.
Oh no. Huh.
I want to be a child.
Old child.
'Cause I don't need to do many things.
'Cause you're a child.
I'll do what I want to do.
Is that what they do?
It will be great. I want to be a child.
Wow!
I want it too.
No, no, only for grown-ups.
Baby's hungry.
Here. Oh, tell me why. It's not like what I thought it would
Oh,
be.
tell me why. It's not like what you thought it
Oh,
would be.
tell me why.
Grown-ups and children should
I don't
listen
want
to
to
each
play.
other.
Can we change back?
Okay. Ha! Ha! Phew.
It's hard to be a grown-up.
Thanks for saying so.
Yeah.